Welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming for the week of April 19th through the 25th. This week's episode sponsored by Zoom. Go check their link out down below. They do a lot of cool social analytics for many different clients in the gaming space and esports space and sports space in general. So if you click the link down below, that would help me out a lot. I'm your host, Mark Kai, and let's get into this week's episode. So for our first top three story, Bobby Kotick, he donated $4 million to the University of Michigan for an esports minor. It's known that Kotick's alma mater is University of Michigan, so this makes sense. And the new minor in esports is slated to be up and running by 2022. The donation will fund a professor to lead the development of this new program, and it will combine research and instruction in computer science, sports management, and user experience. Overall, this is a really interesting thing, not only because of the implications it has for how universities view esports, but also for how university esports clubs can potentially develop good alumni relations moving forward, right? So apparently the School of Kinesiology, the School of Engineering, and the School of Information are in on this, on Michigan's plans here, which means that it's not necessarily one specific major for one, maybe business thing or management thing. It encompasses a lot of different parts of esports. I do think it'd be cool to have a technical game design class on how to design a game for competitive esports versus casual play, and also having marketing classes like how you engage an esports audience versus a traditional sports audience, things like that. Universities like UCI and Ohio State University, they've already developed esports programs in schools, so this also begs the question, is it worth it for a student? Would you rather just get a normal major and then learn about the esports industry, or have something for both, right? Honestly, this is the best thing as a minor, in my opinion. Gaining skills is key for students, and learning about key industry knowledge as well, like through an esports minor, could really help here. I believe that this is very effective for students as a minor, and if they can learn different things as a major and potentially just add this on to have some more industry knowledge, that'd be cool. We'll see how many people sign up for this. Device signed with Unsigned Group, and he joins NIP after 5 years with Astralis. Unsigned Group, the talent agency co-owned by Coldplay's Guy Berryman, has signed Device while also negotiating his new contract with Ninjas in Pajamas. Unsigned Group will exclusively manage Device's professional contract alongside his branding, endorsement, and licensing deals. Now, if you've been watching here, you know I typically don't cover esports roster changes, but this is one of the biggest changes in CSGO history. Device is a 4-time major champion in CSGO, and now he's left his core duo of Zipnix and Dupree. Many details around this have been revealed, like how he only had 8 months left on his contract, so he could have been a free agent, but instead, NIP decided to buy him out for likely over $1 million. He also stated that being away from his girlfriend and home was very difficult for him because he lives in Sweden, and Astralis is based in Denmark. Even though he's Danish, he lives in Sweden, so he wants to be closer to his girlfriend and just not commute as much. And so ultimately, that was one of the key decisions into why he went over to NIP as well. Not many people saw this coming, as Astralis have been one of the most dominant teams in CSGO history ever, so we'll see how this pans out for them. The International Olympic Committee has revealed the Olympic Virtual Series, the first Olympic license event for virtual sports. Now, Dreamhack Sports Games has been selected to handle OVS's marketing and production. The event, timed to coincide with the start of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, will take place between May 13th and June 23rd and will feature virtual sports and esports across baseball, cycling, rowing, sailing, and motorsport, with games like e-baseball, Powerful Pro Baseball, Zwift, Virtual Regatta, and Gran Turismo. OVS plans to leverage esports and gaming to reach a new audience for the Olympics and encourage the development of physical and non-physical forms of sports. OVS will leverage esports and gaming to reach new Olympic audiences and hopes to encourage the development of physical and non-physical forms of sport. After reading this, I just have to say the esports space is making progress. Yes, I know many of us are avid gamers and esports players, and we know top titles like League of Legends, Call of Duty, CSGO, Dota, PUBG, and many more, so we might have a bias against these new up-and-coming sport games. That being said, I do understand why they've picked these games, as it somewhat matches what the Olympics are aiming for, right? Sports. I'm not sure when we'll see the top esports titles that we know integrated in here, but this is still a solid first step. And while the viewership hasn't been the highest, just the thought of esports being integrated into these types of events is a very big win for the esports industry. As far as partnerships go, Rocket League partnered with Lamborghini. Lamborghini sponsored the RLCS X Lamborghini Open in a new event titled the Battle of the Bulls earlier this weekend. The Huracan STO model has been integrated into Rocket League and will now be available for purchase on the item shop as well. The LCS partnered with Mobalytics to support League of Legends' amateur esports ecosystem. Mobalytics has launched an updated version of its esports analytics website, which is designed to help team scouts and esports fans follow amateur esports by providing stats, rankings, and VODs with other resources. Excel Esports partnered with Sony. Sony will work closely with Excel's Fortnite player Wolfies to showcase the Xperia smartphones, as well as collaborate on educational content pieces, as well as hosting giveaways. BallStreet Trading partnered with Teamfight Tactics Esports. BallStreet will create a free-to-play real-time prediction market with rewards and prizes for fans to compete against each other during live TFT esports events beginning in early June via Riot's official portal for the Auto Battler event. For finance and M&A order, they raised 5.3 million Australian dollars and they have a new CEO. Gemelli Group chairman Harry Carrella, who has also been appointed to the board, and Jason Peterson, managing director of CPS Capital, were announced as investors here. This is the largest private capital raised for an Australian and New Zealand esports organization, and Mark Edwards, formerly of the Melbourne Football Club, is now Order's new CEO. The mobile game studio Mighty Kingdom had an $18 million IPO on the Australian Securities Exchange. The studio secured $18 million at 30 cents per share, and public trading began on April 21st. At this IPO price, Mighty Kingdom precedes a market cap of $46 million. This filing follows a $4 million pre-IPO offering launched back in December of 2020. As far as workforce changes go, Mark Vela is promoted to the CEO of Axiomatic Gaming. Vela has played a key role in several of Axiomatic's investments during his tenure as VP of Strategy and Chief Strategy Officer. This includes investments into Pokemon Go developer Niantic and blockchain tech company Draper Labs. He was promoted to Chief Strategy Officer in December of 2020, so this promotion comes soon after his 4-month stint as the CSO. Richard Sherman joins the board of Enthusiast Gaming. Sherman has actually been working with Enthusiast Gaming's Luminosity Gaming as a brand ambassador since 2019, and the former 49er is also the founder of Blanket Coverage Foundation, an initiative that provides students in low-income communities with school supplies and clothing. Kyle Scott joins QYOU Media as the VP of Global Partnerships. Scott will help the agency develop global brand partnerships across a range of verticals, including esports and gaming. Previously, Scott was at Noise as the VP of Brand Partnerships, and before that was at Energy Esports as the VP of Business Development. Michael Chavez Booth joins StoryMob as the GM of North America. Booth will be responsible for the agency's North America client relations and team development. He will support the company's new business efforts as it expands into new verticals, including apparel, digital finance, collectibles, and health and wellness. Booth has worked in communications for over 12 years at international agencies like Edelman and Fleischman Hillard, the LA Chargers, and the NBA. Booth has worked with brands like Warner Brothers, DC Comics, AT&T, and Under Armour throughout his career. Ruben Duran joins Team Liquid as a brand ambassador. Team Liquid previously collaborated with Duran during Liquid Plus's launch stream in January of this year. Duran will become the second celebrity to join Team Liquid as a brand ambassador in 2021, with the former WNBA champion Ariel Powers joining in January. After 19 years with the company, Jeff Kaplan will no longer be with Blizzard. He made his way up from lead game designer to executive director of game design to game director of Overwatch, and he's much loved in the Overwatch space. Remer Rietkerk joins EA as the business reporting manager. The former head of esports at Newzoo has joined the competitive gaming entertainment team, where his responsibilities are unknown at the current moment, but congrats to Remer. Perry Smith joins Hotdrop as the COO. Smith recently served as the business director of esports for Right Formula. He previously worked at Jinx TV as the director of partnerships and was an esports business development manager at Multiplayer prior to Jinx. He aims to develop the agency's talent roster as well as its service offerings. As far as new stuff goes, Esports Fashion Group launched the Esports Fashion Week. The Esports Fashion Week is projected for Q3 2021, with the event expected to be first of its kind for brands within the industry to enter into their latest collections. It will aim to bring the traditional concept of Fashion Week to the world of esports. Riot announced their Legends of Runeterra World Championship. A total of 192 players from the Americas, Europe, and Asia, as well as some ranked and seasonal tournament participants, will compete for 16 seats at the World Championship Finals beginning in September. Dreamhack unveiled their virtual interactive experience, Dreamhack Beyond. The event, running in the last week of July, will include live streams, game previews, cosplay competitions, and esport competitions that a traditional Dreamhack would have, while also providing a framework for a new narrative-driven gaming experience online. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Credit to Esports Insider, the Esports Observer, Esports, Games Industry Biz, and the orgs and authors themselves for the images and press releases. If you know someone who would provide this valuable, I would appreciate if you tag them down below. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great day.